Two moms, two marketers, two women new to the financial industry. They have a lot of questions. That's why they're bringing in financial experts to educate all of us here on A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts.
Hey everyone, it's Chantel and Liz with another episode of A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts. We are back in the studio.
Yeah, we are.
Today.
We haven't been in the studio since
I don't even
2025.
know. Oh yeah, there we go.
Gosh, when was that? Was that November?
I don't know, but everything's kind of wonky. Like I have a cord in here and my glasses are okay.
For our listeners, I'm sure that sounded really interesting. I have a cord in here. I would just recommend going to the YouTube channel and watching us so then you can see what that cord is about.
Oh, okay. I have been waiting to say this all day because I found this and you didn't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with my hands today. I'm feeling
like
weird.
Looking down at her pants.
My eyelashes are touching my glasses and it's pushing me over the edge. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw this meme, and I thought I would read it to you.
Okay.
In every relationship, actually, before I say this, I want you to, think about this from your relationship standpoint with your husband, okay?
Okay.
In every relationship, there is one person who stacks the dishwasher like a finely skilled architect, and one who stacks it like a raccoon who sniffed too many pixie sticks.
Yep.
Chad sent that to me, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I really do appreciate that you appreciate that I stack it. Normally he goes, you are the raccoon, you psycho.
Same. That's
said.
Yeah, Chris one day, I was emptying the dishwasher, and I was like, I don't remember putting them in that way. And he looks at me, and he could tell I was kind of baffled. And he goes, yeah, I reorganized after you put them in there. And I'm like, what?
I know.
All these years?
Whatever.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't understand your method. Okay.
I wanted to be a raccoon that sniffed too many pixie sticks.
Yeah, same. That sounds way more fun than an architect, a finely skilled architect.
Yeah, well, anyway, there's that for today. How are you? How was today?
So far, so good. It's lunch hour.
It is.
If you heard my stomach growl, I apologize.
All right. Well,
I'm excited to get back to my cheese, my chicken and cheese.
How about we jump into what's going to be one fine podcast? I don't know.
I like how you said that. Fine. Well, I'll kick us off. We've got two amazing guests with us today. Our first guest, she's a returning guest. She's a repeat offender of the show. Ooh. Here's a cool fact, an awesome fact, amazing fact. She was inducted into the 40 under 40 group in 2025.
Yay.
So she's pretty amazing. So we'll take autographs and photos after the show.
For sure.
Listeners, if you'd like an autograph or photo, you're just going to have to fill out a form, and there's a lot of background checks and things that happen. Legalese. So probably not going to get those autographs and photographs today. But she serves on the Cabinet for Credit Unions for Kids. We are very lucky to have her as the Assistant Vice President, Retail Financial Services at Centris. Welcome back to the show, Diane Cruz.
Hey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. And then our next guest, just as spectacular, she has spent more than 3 decades in healthcare philanthropy, including 32 years guiding annual giving and the Children's Miracle Network programs at Children's Nebraska. She loves helping donors and corporate partners, just like Centris Federal Credit Union, make a difference. And when she's not doing that, she's spending time with her husband, 2 grown sons, and a sweet black lab named Mosey.
Mosey. I'm so glad you mentioned Mosey.
Of course, I can't leave a dog out.
Any nervousness I might have had when I think of Mosey is just like, he'll
Shall we
melt
just
you.
talk about
Should we
dogs?
talk about dogs?
We could just talk about
Forget
dogs.
this podcast. Let's just talk all day
We'll
long.
record this one at another time.
that's fine.
We're going to talk about animals.
Yes.
Because April 11th is National Pet Day, if you didn't know.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It sure is.
We've been soliciting photos at work from the employees of all their pets so that we can showcase them on social media. So
Listeners.
the fact that she...
Listen, I know
there's a lot happening.
there's a lot going on.
All right. Please welcome to the show Director of Development with Children's Nebraska Foundation, Jane Phillips.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Of course.
And Diane, I did not know that about 40 under 40 last year.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
applause.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. It's good stuff. Oh, we've got some good things going on today. We can't wait to jump in. So.
Right.
All right.
Okay, let's just kick it off. So I'll kind of take a step back of the reason why we're doing this podcast at this time. So Centris Federal Credit Union is actually running a campaign, and it's running through April 30th. I think we started it early February, and we're doing this in partnership with Visa. The campaign's called Make a Real Impact with your Centris Visa debit card. And whenever one of our members swipes their debit card, we are going to make a donation on their behalf to Credit Unions for Kids, which benefits the Children's Miracle Network and stays locally with Children's Nebraska. And Centris, we have been fundraising for years and donating to Credit Unions for Kids for years. In fact, I think tomorrow is the day that we get to wear our really awesome shirts. And so many employees walk around with those shirts on every Wednesday. So we had a lot of employees buy those shirts. Very cool. So that's kind of to kick this episode off. We've got Jane here to talk about the foundation, and Dee here, or Diane, excuse me. I was getting all informal.
You're throwing my nickname out there, are ya? Okay, I see how it is. Okay. So we're doing now.
Yep. So to lead into that, can you both talk about the partnership with Credit Unions for Kids and Children's Miracle Network, how that began, and really why it's so impactful?
Yeah, absolutely. Jane?
You go first.
Alrighty, Jane.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, credit unions were built on the idea of like people helping people, and the Children's Miracle Network embodies that same philosophy, ensuring that the kids are receiving that care here in our local communities. What's really impactful and really cool about this partnership is that every dollar that's raised, it stays local. So we're directly helping the Children's Nebraska and helping families navigate some of the hardest moments of their lives.
Yep.
I can't add to that. That was
You sure can,
phenomenal. No, it really was great. So just so people know, Children's Miracle Network is made up of 170 hospitals for kids across North America. And so, again, as Diane said so well, the funds that are raised local stay local, and through wonderful partners like Credit Unions for Kids. So
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Why don't you dive into what are some of the tangible things that Credit Union's fundraising has helped with?
Well, there's a long list, but the two things that kind of came right to my mind when I was thinking about this ahead of time, Credit Unions for Kids helped us buy an ambulance years ago, and provides critical care services for kids across Nebraska, beyond. I mean, I'm not even sure how many miles outside of Nebraska our ground transportation will go, but and then also supports our Carol and Scott Rainbow House. And for those again who may not be familiar, the Rainbow House is our home away from home for families that come to Children's who live 90 miles or more from outside of Omaha. It's a really phenomenal place. It's, I think, 56 guest rooms, and there's a playground, and there's a kitchen and pantry, and people have their assigned lockers that they can put their favorite things in while they're staying there. And it really is to ease the burden and just kind of make things more comfortable for those families.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is there a recent success story or patient story that really illustrates the power of these donations?
Well, every year we have the opportunity to identify a child who will serve as our Children's Miracle Network champion, and this year it's Ryker. Ryker was living his life, his 7-year-old life, and helping on the family farm, and he got some fever. He couldn't shake the fevers, had pneumonia, and their doctor, after some tests at their home, decided maybe we should send him to Children's Nebraska. So they did, and further tests confirmed that he had leukemia, and this was in 2023, I think. So multiple holidays spent at Children's. He got to know the staff, and he became really good pals, pen pals, in fact, with our one of our facility dogs, Frito. His handler is Kylie, and she's amazing. Our whole child life staff is amazing. They're there to really kind of just help things feel more normal for kids who are in the hospital, and advocate for them and help them through procedures. And so Ryker, with his family around him and some really just amazing expert care. He did great. He rode around what his family called in a pumper car. Are you guys familiar with pumper cars? Yeah. I don't know what they are, but apparently it's a fun thing. And so his family even donated a couple after his care. He finished his care in 2024. And now he serves as our champion this year for CMN and representing Nebraska.
That's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
I love that.
We're going to dive a little bit into how you got into this role. And obviously stories like this can just make such an impact. But really, what got you where you are today?
Well, again, as I was thinking ahead to visiting with you, it always comes back to the mission. So the mission of Children's Nebraska is to give every child, to improve the life of every child. And so even all those years ago, and it kind of takes me by surprise when I think that it's 30-some years ago, but all those years ago, that mission drew me and inspired me, and the kids and families are so inspiring, and our team at Children's is very inspiring. So it's kind of hard to, I don't know, when you think about helping kids and making a brighter future for kids, I can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Well, thank you for what you're doing. 32
Yes.
years.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's fun. I'm not done yet.
Good for
I
you.
love it.
Good
I
for
love
you.
it. What's been the most rewarding part of your role as the Director of Development?
I get to work with people like Diane. And I didn't get to give you a hug because I had my headset on. I was really afraid that I was
And the
going to knock
cables.
everything off and,
Knock teeth
make a
out.
whole
It's
big
bad, right?
scene. But, in the Credit Union for Kids, cabinet members who are amazing, representing various credit unions from across Nebraska. But to get to work with partners like that and make that connection between those people, the people around them, and the kids at the hospital, just making life better for kids and families.
Yeah.
You've
talked. Oh, go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead.
No.
It's
Fight,
good.
fight.
Let's go.
Okay. You talked a little bit about the mission.
Yeah.
A little bit. But how does the mission and the Children's Nebraska, how's it unique compared to maybe other institutions that are helping?
Well, so Children's Nebraska, founded in 1948 during the polio epidemic, actually. So again, with that mission to improve the life of every child, we're the only freestanding hospital for kids, just for kids in the state of Nebraska, dedicated just to kids. And so we serve a 5-state region. And I think the nearest hospitals for kids, freestanding hospitals for kids, would be Minneapolis, Iowa City, Denver. Who am I forgetting? And I have my notes in front of me, but I've already... there's another one. It'll come to me. Did I say Kansas City? So those are the nearest freestanding hospitals. And then we have these incredible critical care programs. So we have a level 4 pediatric intensive care unit that serves the very sickest and fragile babies across the state and really within the region. We have a level 1 pediatric trauma center. Again, that is the highest level of care that can be provided for pediatric trauma. And then a dedicated cardiac unit with advanced life support, heart transplant services, and that is honestly a very rare and specialized program. So to have that here in Nebraska is such a gift to our community. And then we just opened our Behavioral Health and Wellness Center in January. That it was put together with such thought because when a family is in crisis or they need help, they walk through just one door. They don't have to figure out where do I need to go, what do I need to say when I get there. They walk through one door and they are guided to where they need theirs. It's like we wrap our arms around them and help them go where they need to go.
Right.
Yep.
How many families are you actually working with every year?
So the number of families is around 160,000. You know, that's an estimate. And then when you look at the number of patient visits, so one child can be very sick and come multiple times. So the number of patient visits is like 679,000 or more
Per year.
per year.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What are some of the creative or more memorable fundraising efforts that you've seen from credit unions?
I'm going to let you talk
Oh,
to that.
look at you. We made eye contact. The credit unions in this cabinet that I have the pleasure of working alongside are incredibly creative and inventive when it comes to fundraising. I've seen everything from staff-driven competitions to dress-down days, even events like golf tournaments. They'll have dunk tanks, Santa letters. They'll even raffle out baskets and sell anything from chocolate bars to totes to try to raise as much as we can for the Children's Miracle Network. As you mentioned, obviously we're currently running that campaign alongside with the partnership with Visa, where of course anytime our members use their Centris debit card, we'll make a donation on their behalf.
That's great.
What about you, Jane? What have you seen?
Well, I want to comment that what I've noticed within the cabinet and with the credit unions all around is that what works best is what works best within because I think everyone has its own culture.
Right.
And you guys love the T-shirts
We
and
do.
the sweatshirts, and I would kind of grab onto that myself, to be honest. I have a few children's sweatshirts that when I get a chance to wear them, I love to do that. So. Yeah, so it's within a culture, what works there. So the golf events work for some, the dress down days for others. Santa letters seem to work for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a fun event this last year. We did
Absolutely.
that
We
with
did.
our members.
Mhm.
Yeah. So with the remarkable things that credit unions are doing for Children's Miracle Network, what critical needs or programs rely most heavily on that funding?
We have, I think I mentioned our Child Life program. The Rainbow House, we have services for parents and siblings, pet therapy, music therapy. Those services are not reimbursed by insurance, but they're really kind of what make a lot of what we do for kids unique at Children's, and they can help transform a child's experience, a family's experience. And so donations from the community, that's, those are the type of programs we can provide because of that help from the community.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the robot initiative?
So yeah, and that's unique just for credit unions for kids. So, we try credit unions like to have something that they can hang their hat on for fundraising and for Children's Miracle Network. And so I've talked about the ambulance and some other things that they've done along, but we had this opportunity. We've got a couple of, I think it'll be 2. I'm not really sure now because the program's kind of evolving, but we are launching robots in our hospital, and I think they're going to be cute. I think they will be wrapped in a way that will make them cute. They're going to help deliver medications. And so that'll free up very important time for staff that provides the care to provide those, meet the critical needs. And so we've got some robots coming. And I think they will be named, and there'll be some that we're going to let the kids name them, and it'll be a fun. Yeah, but innovation is one of our core values, and that is an opportunity that credit unions for kids then just said, we want to do that. That's what we're going to raise the money for now. So
just connecting the dots, the $5 that you give for the Santa letters, like we were just talking about, that goes to something that is so impactful as these robots, just making it a connection with kids. It's just amazing the impact that it goes so far. I love it.
Yeah,
For sure.
What are some of the emerging new pediatric healthcare that donors can play a big part in being part of?
well, so when you look at that question, healthcare is just a really dynamic and complex industry. And that's really kind of a hard one for me to answer, but I can tell you that Children's Nebraska is going to approach the future as we do now, just very laser focused on our mission. and the 4 pillars, which are care, advocacy, research, education, and then supported by the hospital's core values. And that's innovation, collaboration, accountability, respect, and excellence. And I do have those memorized, but I did look at my notes because I wanted to make sure that I rattled them off in the right order, because our leaders there had a very clever idea in trying to help that really cement in our minds as staff. So care, advocacy, research, and education, the acronym is CARE. And the core values, innovation, collaboration, accountability, and respect and excellence, is I care. So, yeah, donors then, so again, we go back to the mission. Our foundation supports the mission. So as we're looking at what those opportunities are, that's where we put those donated dollars.
Very good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Where do you both see the partnership between Children's Nebraska and local credit unions growing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You tell me. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Totally kidding. Cut that out.
I was like,
no, definitely.
I could try.
Kidding. Cut that out. Make sure you redact that. I see even a deeper collaboration amongst more credit unions participating when it comes to raising funds. I also see more branches engaging and more opportunities for us to work together to raise awareness. As Children Nebraska continues to grow and continue to provide additional services, the need for the support will grow along with it. I also expect technology to play a big role in this, hopefully with digital giving campaigns and online member engagement. It will allow us to reach more people than ever.
I can just see you right now.
I love that.
The passion
That's
that you
so
have.
good.
The kids.
And you're part of this board. How did you be part of this? But why do you feel it's so important that you have a seat right next to those that are leading this initiative?
Absolutely. And it was interesting because this was the first cabinet I joined in my journey. So my professional journey, it was Credit Union for Kids. And at that time, I believe it was like in 2016.
We never let them off. We don't let them off
Right?
once they join.
Yeah.
You could, but we wouldn't want you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. The seat came open for Centris,
Yeah.
and Steve, our wonderful CEO, was looking for someone to fill that seat. And I had talked through it with my colleague because I was a little hesitant. I was nervous, being a branch manager at the time. And, hey, can I even handle this as a branch manager? And do this because I wanted to give Credit Union for Kids everything that I had coming in. And after I talked to my colleague, she reassured me that Centris has your back. You go to the events, you go to your meetings and do what you have to do so we can raise funds. And I said yes thanks to that conversation. And here I am.
And we're so glad.
2026. Yep.
Yeah, and you came very highly recommended by Steve, I will say.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
so,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I paid him to do that.
Yeah. Yep. He paid me to ask you the question.
Thank
So
you.
it's all fine.
Working out.
Circle of life here.
It really is.
If you could share a message with our employees and then our members who donate, what would it be?
I would truly thank them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every event they support, every moment that they spend raising awareness, where they're just talking to people, wearing their shirts proudly, it matters more than they know. Their generosity is changing lives, and we're incredibly grateful for their commitments to kids like Ryker and families across the Midwest.
So great. I don't even have words after it.
I
It's
know.
like, I love this.
I know.
This is so great. I don't know other words to use, but it's just so genuine.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciative that you're both doing this for our community. So thank you for that.
I know, and I think when it comes to kids, we all have that soft spot, and it just it warms our hearts that we're able to help, even if it's just that little bit. We're making a difference when we all bring that together. That little bit, small changes lead to big things.
Absolutely.
They do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's incredible to hear what we're able to do, and champions like
Together.
Ryker and that story.
Yeah.
Yep. Together.
I think that's why we love this platform, for us to be able to talk to those that are in the community doing doing the good work. And so how can we tell others how they can get involved and help support you in the community?
Well, we have the standard ways. You can come to our website. I think, what is it? It's childrensnebraska.org/give. There are ways to learn there. You can visit the credit unions. I'm sure that they have information to share. And then we also, Children's Nebraska is in social media. That's kind of the avenue for a lot of folks. And so that's another opportunity too. And we do update. We do post a lot. So
Very good.
yeah, come visit and follow it.
For sure.
Sounds great.
And then if there's any credit union out there listening, because I'm sure there are, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you over to Amy and Melissa at the Credit Union League so you can join and continue to help with these efforts.
That's great.
That's excellent. So, podcast called A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts. And we always like to have our guests give their penny or two for their thoughts, what they want the listeners to walk away with after listening to this podcast.
Well, I want to say that when you give through credit unions for kids or directly to Children's Nebraska, you're making life brighter for local kids. And since this is a financially sort of leaning type of podcast, that's really a return on investment that I think everybody can get behind.
Absolutely.
I love that, the return on investment piece. Yeah, it goes back to thanking everyone in the community, thanking everyone that's supporting this mission, because when we work together, we can do big things.
Yeah, that appreciation,
So
that's really important.
It is, yeah.
So good. Thank you both so much for
Yeah.
joining us today. And
It's
thank you
fun.
both for what you're doing.
Yes.
You guys make it fun
Yeah,
and
they do.
easy. I barely even looked at my computer, which is good. That's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I know.
We made it easy.
We made it easy.
Yes.
Making it easy. That's one of our goals.
Goals
isn't
for
it?
2026.
2026. Making it easy. Like I said, thank you for the work that you're both doing. It's making such a huge impact. I get such a soft spot in my heart for kids. So I appreciate everything that you guys do. So thank you to our listeners, and thank you to those who have donated or maybe are looking to donate. We will include a link in the description of this podcast so that you can go check out childrensnebraska.org and just /give and see where you can maybe donate or give some time. But make sure you check that out. You can like, rate, and review this podcast and spread the word. See if we can get others to get involved and help those kiddos out. And be sure to check out our website, centrisfcu.org, just for more great content. And if you want to chat with any of our financial experts or get in touch with our credit union, if this is a fellow credit union, you can just give us a call at 402-334-7000. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and make it a great day.
Thanks, everyone.